Hey there, toolaholics. Today we're going to do a review of the Stiletto 16 ounce smooth face framing hammer. So this is a $200 hammer. And why would you get a $200 hammer, you might ask, when you can go buy one for 35 bucks? It looks the same, but it's not the same really. So it's got a titanium head. The titanium head is the titanium material is harder than the steel, and titanium is also lighter, so you get a large volume, large size head with less weight. So the marketing hype will tell you that it hits as hard as a 28 ounce or a 26 ounce hammer. It doesn't really hit that hard. It definitely drives nails a lot better than a 16 ounce hammer does. Maybe closer to, I don't know, maybe around a 20 or 24 ounce hammer would. It drives nails well as a hammer that's a lot heavier than it is, but it doesn't beat crap into place as a hammer that's heavier than it is, because having a titanium head doesn't make any difference when you're trying to beat a piece of wood into place. So it's not going to replace a heavy hammer in that way. The one I've got has got a wooden handle. You can get the wood handle or the titanium handle, which is called the bone handle. I chose the wood handle on purpose, not because I couldn't afford the bone handle. Wood handle, in my opinion, is the best kind of handle you can get on a hammer. It's easiest on your body. It's not going to chew up your hands with a rubber grip like on the fiberglass hammers. Wood absorbs impact. So when you're beating on things, the wood flexes and bends a little bit and absorbs impact and makes it a lot easier on your body, which is good if you're an old man that's beat the crap out of his body. It's got a magnet, like any framing hammer does, to hold a nail in place so you can reach something that you can't reach with two hands to start a nail. This is a ripping claw. It's not a nail pulling claw. It's not really meant for pulling nails. You can pull nails with it in a pinch. People that use them to pull nails all the time will break the handles a lot. I've had this for years and years, and I'm still on the original handle. With wood handles, a little bit of maintenance goes a long way. Every couple of months, or depending on how much you're abusing it, how dry it is where you live or whatever, just wiping the handle down with a bit of boiled linseed oil works wonders for the life of a wooden handled hammer. Set your hammer top up in a little bit of linseed oil overnight, and that'll, if your hammer head is getting loose, that'll suck the linseed oil up into the wood that's stuck inside of the hammerhead and swallow that back up. And the linseed oil won't evaporate like water or whatever will. If you're in a pinch, you need something to expand the wood in your hammer handle really quick, then antifreeze works well. Antifreeze doesn't evaporate, and it works. It's thinner like water is, so it'll expand quickly. It'll expand it really hard. This is the smooth face, so it doesn't have the milled texture on it. And why would you want to get a smooth face hammer? Well, those milled face hammers, they're great if you're just doing rough framing, but the milled face makes a mess of things when you hit wood with it. So if you're doing anything that's any kind of finish work, even like nailing on siding or putting nails into trim or anything like that, you want to have a smooth face. Even if you're nailing structural stuff that's going to be exposed where people are going to see it, the smooth face is a lot better. If all you're doing is rough framing, then go for the milled face. It grabs the nail a little better and it's a little bit less slippery. The magnet works good. A lot of the guys have had the I know I've had the magnet fall out. You can buy replacements. I haven't had that happen. Mine's held in just fine. A lot of guys I know have had their handles break or they have the head fall off, and mine's been just fine. One of the keys for looking at a handle is you want to look for, if you can be choosy and buy your hammer in person, look for a nice straight grain that runs straight along the length of the hammer, and that'll give you a lot stronger hammer handle. So the shape of the hammer handle and the length of the handle are part of also what gives the hammer its power. So it's got a longer handle than, say, much longer handle than, say, your traditional Estwing hammer. This one was my dad's. That's a pretty old one. And as you can see, the hammerhead has a lot more volume, but these hammers weigh the same. Another key for if you're pulling nails, when you get your claw into your nail, it's much better if you twist your hammer sideways than pulling it up this way. You get a lot more leverage that way. But the reason for a ripping claw is you can then smack that claw in between two boards and twist your hammer sideways and it'll pull them apart. Overall, I love this hammer. It's a fantastic hammer. Nice and light on my nail bag when I break down and wear the fucking thing, because I hate wearing them. I've had to refinish the face of it, and as you can see, when you give it to helpers, they'll chip the edges. So, but you can just clean that up with a regular grinder. If you can't find the smooth face, but you want a smooth face, you can buy the milled face and just smooth it off with a grinder if you want. $200 is a lot to spend on a hammer. If you're just starting out, or if you're just doing things around the home, around the house or whatever, there's a lot of tools that are more important than a $200 hammer for you to buy. If you're using a hammer all day, every day, this is a great choice. It's definitely a luxury item. It's not a must-have or anything like that. Although, if you're on a job site, the other guys will judge you if you have if you have a cheapo $30 hammer. They'll tease you about it a little bit, and you can tell them to buy you a hammer if they think it's that important. Is it worth the $200? I think so. For me, it was. For you, it might not be. Or it might be. It depends. It all depends how much you like hammers. That's the Stiletto 16-ounce smooth-faced titanium framing hammer.